Marco, good to see you again.
You too, mate. Really nice to be here.
So last time we met was at Summit in January. What have you been up to since?
We decided to say, well, let's focus on where we see the needs are and what the most common questions we get asked at exhibitions just like these. You know, do you have a panel only? Do you have a home system? Do you have, what else do you have? Do you have a desktop charger, you know? So I think over the months, actually over a period of a year or so, we've looked at saying, let's narrow our range. I mean, let's still have some things that meet the consumers need in retail and other segments of the market, but also let's focus on something that's more geared and engineered towards power. For example, something like this panel that we have here.
So you're starting to develop integrating systems that are charged by the corrugated panel that can be placed on roofs.
Yeah, the idea of this panel is designed and invented and made by a PhD in solar. The specifications around it are of the best quality you can get. They are made currently in Europe, and we're looking at having production made in Africa, for example, South Africa. We're looking at making various sizes from a 30 watt, 50 watt, 100 watt, 150 watt, and that is your source. So anything to do with the sun that comes onto a panel, as we know, the efficiencies of it are calculated in a way that it meets the requirement of your storage. So that's the idea of what we're trying to do. So the bigger the storage, obviously the bigger the panel, and the more efficient that it needs to be. So the demand that we have is that people have said to us, I have this battery or I have this power source and it's not being charged. It doesn't work properly, is what they tell us. So when we looked into it, we realized that the panels that people are using are really inefficient. So that it could take 3 days to charge a panel, a battery, but by then it's already flat. So this is the kind of thing that we're looking at. So this comes in a kit with the charge controller, with all the cables, all the wires, everything that you need, and in some cases even with some lights. But we don't supply the power, so we don't do the battery power. There are reasons for it. We can refer people to do it, but the main reason is also shipping a battery, the cost of a battery, the dumping of a battery. It's not going to be so.
That's not your market, is it? I mean,
no.
You're not doing storage, you're doing supply.
Supply, yeah, in this kind of field.
So where are you in terms of development of this product?
It's already in production. They are patent pending. We've sold a couple of thousand now at the moment. And we're looking, as I said, setting up production in South Africa so that we can be more efficient in every aspect. Obviously, cost is a big one. It's manufactured in-house, it's controlled in-house, it's tested, and it's also easy to supply and distribute because South Africa, again, is a great hub to service the rest of Africa. So that's what we're looking at doing, you know. And it's in creating employment, and it does all the other good things that come with the social responsibilities of what we're trying to achieve.
So you're one of the sponsors of Intersolar Middle East. How did you become to get involved?
Yeah, I think we find that as we're growing as a business, we're interacting a lot more with clients. We're interacting a lot more with exhibitions. I mean, we've just finished one in Kenya last week. We just want to be more involved and create this presence and this brand that Solarway is here. It's here to stay. And we're around, you know. As I said, you know, we're building. We are more recognized as we compared to what we were 2 or 3 years ago. And we want to participate and contribute in what we give, so we get back, and then we sow again into the same environment. So, you know, it's encouraging and exciting times.
So what next for Marco and Solarway?
We are looking at solar-powered sanitized solutions from toilets, which we have a few in the field that have been tested, some that are already commercially operating, which I know sounds quite challenging, but literally in the middle of anywhere, we can erect a fully functional, flushing, working solar-powered toilet system that is proven, tried, tested on building sites. From there, all the way down to home power systems, like most of the competitors. We find that the shift has moved, again, with your previous question, from the consumer lantern business to something more home environment that fits an environment of where you live. More than a mobile lantern that people can just move around, that could be lost, stolen, damaged. So more of a fixed solution So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at maybe not being all things to all people, as I said earlier, and more focused on power source, specific functionalities like sanitization, and then a home system that improves the environment of where you physically live.
And it's amazing that you can now do all of these things with solar.
Yes, I mean, and who knows where it's going to end, you know. There's just so much going on in this clean alternate energy space, you know, in this environment of people are just bettering, the experts out there are bettering everything for everybody. And us, like other customers, look at it, see the need, and we climb on to try and pick the best partners as possible. I think in the beginning, Matt, as you know, we produced, manufactured, tooled a lot of our own products, which is great, and a lot of people still do that. But I think the niche or the maybe the wise choice is still to do production in certain things where it makes sense, but also to come up with a solution that's robust, that works, using the expertise that we have, the distribution we have, the relationship with our clients that we have, that gives them a solution that we can back and guarantee. So we have a good technical team, we have a good sales and marketing team, and we have an amazing distribution. We have a really good reach. 74 countries, 85% of Africa, and we continue supplying.
Marco, thank you for joining us. Pleasure as always.
Thank you so much, Matt. Really good to see you again.